Where is their father?
They have no father.
We don't have a choice.
Osha wants to do it.
Osha is a child.
She is old enough to know what she wants.
I did not bring the girls into this world so we could lose them to a bunch of deranged monks.
It is not your decision. It is mine. And I've made it.
I carried them.
I created them.
And what happens if the Jedi discover how you created them?
The Acolyte. I've already done the review for the first 2 episodes, so if you are interested in seeing how this wonderful and tantalizing adventure began, you can check out there first. But here is the 3rd episode. And I gotta say, if even Forbes is saying this is disappointing, that says a lot. So it says they're on Brendok 16 years earlier, and we're in a forest with what looks like a yellow willow tree. And we see a child version of, I'm guessing, Osha. I mean, they have to continuously say what their names are, so we understand which twin is which. Although one of the twins does have a slightly bigger jaw than the other. If you really look, I mean, maybe this is a trick of the eye. What is it with these Disney programs showing little girls as total sociopaths? I mean, it's not really a good look. It's every single one of them. Remember Echo? She killed the bird, and they always have like so much anger in them.
May, how did you know I was here? When I can't find you, I look here.
So that's supposed to be May, and they're showing what their life was like before. Even if they started out with the same hairstyle when they were younger, with how much they put emphasis on Osha not wanting to be like her sister, I figured she would have gotten a new do. But after all, it is one person playing 2 people in her adult life, so they gotta make it easy.
The Bunta tree's so beautiful. But Osha, it's dangerous. Only if we eat it. Let it go, May. Stop! Why do you always have to do things like that?
Bitch, you were just doing the same thing. What in the world? Anyway, dumbass Osha, these kids are getting on my nerves, is like, I don't want to do the Ascension because I'm angsty. May is the one who's telling her the Ascension is just a ceremony, everything will be fine. May convinces her they'll do it together.
I am with you. I am with you.
Then they do that stupid little chant thing they always do, and they're like, oh my god, we're twins, so we have to do stuff like this. And then Fricky Horny Face over here scares the shit out of me when she comes out of the trees, and I'm guessing she's their guardian or something, and she's like, what are you doing here? Hey, she looks like, the pink version of that red face dude, Darth Maul, or I don't know. I'm not great with Star Wars, but she looks like that dude with the red and black face in the hood.
There will be consequences for breaking the rules.
It isn't fair. I'm old enough to go outside the fortress walls.
The rules are for your safety. Now, come with me. Quickly.
I hate when some of these kids are like, I'm old enough to do this, but yet the adults themselves are like, hey, we don't even want to go out there because it's too dangerous. Usually a reason. And oh my god, we catch Squid Games guy over here looking on, spying on them. So in this big mountain thing with the 2 things and this doesn't matter. There's a whole community, and it seems to be a community just of women, because of course it is. Their guardian seems to be a disciplinarian. She's very gentle with them, but she seems to be all about discipline. Well, not really all about discipline, but she seems to be the only person who's keeping them in check. And that's when we meet their mother.
Ancient ceremony.
Let them have some spice creams.
Mama!
My sweet girls must have sweet treats.
So I'm thinking, okay, maybe that Darth Maul chick is just their nanny and whatnot. Either way, if she's a sort of guardian to them, which I'm guessing is the case, why would you undermine her right in front of them? Why would they listen to her then? Maybe that's the reason why they're freaking confused and don't take anything you say seriously. Because she's saying that the forest is dangerous. And you're like, no, let them have this. So you're directly going against what this person has just said to them, which is supposed to keep them safe. So why would they listen to her? Or to you, that for that matter.
Must have sweet treats. Don't you think so, Coral? Go.
Their mother is beautiful, but she's a bitch. Oh my god. And as it continues, you have to understand why. Like, I don't even know why Coral would end up with someone like this. Pussy must be good, because good grief, this person is toxic as shit.
Cleaning session.
Mother and the same. They left the fortress again.
Did anyone see them?
I do not believe so.
Any sign of the visiting Jedi?
None. Our scouts think they've moved their ship inland.
I told you this planet would be a safe haven for our coven.
Oh my god. This feels like such a toxic relationship, and obviously, okay, they're a couple. So the mother's angle that we've gotten from before means that these are probably her parents. Why would you do the whole good cop, bad cop thing? You're teaching your kids to disrespect Coral. I can't stand that shit, man. That shit, maybe it's triggering for me because it's so close to home, but this just made me so annoyed, and it made me hate this mother. And then she's all like, I told you it was safe, even though we have a Jedi that's been following our children. I told you it would be safe. Really? Really? She just said that there were issues with Jedi in the forest hiding. Just because you didn't see them today doesn't mean it's still not safe out there. The frick is wrong with this person?
It's not going to stay safe if Osha keeps running away.
Look at her face, her bitch ass face. She's like, you didn't listen to me? Do I have to put my flaps around your mouth for you to remember to smell your superior? So annoying. It's so annoying. This woman cares more about the kids than she does.
You want to say something?
Are you gonna make me pay for it later by withholding pussy?
Speak your mind, Coral.
As our leader, I've always deferred to you when raising the twins. But you're too lenient. A firm hand is required.
Osha is testing her boundaries. It's normal behavior for a child.
So because it's normal behavior for a child to test their boundaries, you shouldn't not reinforce that behavior? It's normal behavior for baby dogs. I hate saying that. It's called puppies, but baby dog sounds more, I don't know, whatever. Baby dogs, still the same thing. It's more normal for baby dogs to try at least once to bite you, depending on the breed. They're gonna test you. My dogs have done the same. Most predator animals, hell, most animals will test you. Most mammals, in fact, will go through a stage where they will test you. And you know what you do? Just like their parents would do with them in the wild without human intervention, you need to check that shit. That's how you protect them. If you do not teach your dog or your animals recall, and you're like, come here when I call you, and you don't discipline them, or reinforce the behavior of them coming and discourage the behavior of them not listening to you, one day they're gonna escape or something's gonna happen or the leash is gonna break because shit happens because life is life, and they're gonna run out into traffic and get hit by a car because you didn't teach your dog to come when it is called. It is the same thing. Yes, it is normal for them to test those boundaries, but as a parent, you should tell them or redirect them when they exhibit those behaviors, you dumbass. And then your wife or your partner or whoever is trying to tell you that, and you're just like, no, the kids can do what they want. And you know, I'd be completely okay with this stupid good cop shit, but then later on, she has the nerve to be all like, but I want them to listen to me. But you did not I don't know why I'm getting so mad. It's just, some people aren't meant to be parents, I swear to God.
Twins are not normal children.
Bitch, you in the doghouse tonight.
A thread woven through all of existence. Some call it a force and claim to use it.
Are they gonna go with the angle that Jedi are evil? I like I said, I'm very new to Star Wars. I've only watched the first movie in The Mandalorian. But it would make sense, just like in the lore of Pokemon, or at least the Pokemon games, that there are going to be people out there that don't agree with the lifestyle of Jedi. And I understand there's going to be evil Jedi out there too, there was. So that makes sense. But from what I know, correct me if I'm wrong, Jedi are still very iconic and looked up to as the good guys in the Star Wars universe. Are they not? If I'm wrong, please correct me.
But we know the thread is not a power you wield.
Baby girl, you were just wielding it though. Okay, let's look at the word wield, what that means. Wield, hold and use a weapon or a tool. Have and be able to use. Power or influence, to exercise, to exert, to be possessed of, have at one's disposal. So you taking it and using it is wielding it. You need to be more specific.
But we know the thread is not a power you wield. Pull the thread. Change everything. Ties you to your destiny. It binds you to others.
Doesn't matter how you say it, you're still wielding it, my guy. What in the hell? What in the cult? That's wielding! You're wielding it! It doesn't matter what you call it, that's what you're doing! Why are you teaching your kids to be as stupid as you?
The power of one.
Oh my god, those kids are annoying. They're so freaking annoying. The whole time May is telling Osha, the supposed good twin, she needs to pay attention. And Osha's like, stop it, stop pushing me. And the whole time the mother is trying to teach them, they're acting stupid. The mother should have taken away the ball that she gave her, because clearly she's too distracted.
The power of two. And tonight, at the ceremony, you will experience the power of many.
Pay attention.
She was paying attention. What in the world is going on with these kids? Oh my god. Hold on, am I missing something?
You will experience the power of many.
Pay attention.
She's literally paying attention. Oh my god, they're so annoying. What is even the point of this episode? This could have been done well in a flashback, but okay, whatever. They're trying to make us understand her parents or whatnot.
Stop distracting me.
Girls.
Let go of me.
Her wife was like, yeah, now they're embarrassing you. Now what? Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Because I'm the bad mother, right? I'm the bad one. Now look at you, looking all goofy over there. You gonna fix that, bro?
Your enemies will not warn you before they attack. Get up.
You just wielded that power to discipline your children. Just saying.
Block me. Excellent, May.
Osha, I expect more from you.
What is your problem, bro? She's all like, oh my god, I can't do anything. I'm spoiled and everyone lets me get away with how sad everything is. This is why cheetahs and certain animals go out in the wild and force their children to be in situations where they don't have time to be scared. The mother was coddling Osha. May has just picked up everything naturally, but Osha is more shy. So what you need to do is give her a more hands-on approach where she has no choice but to act. And trust me, I've been there. I was very, very shy. Still am very shy when it comes to a lot of things. Don't let the loud, passionate speaking fool you. I do that because I have to on a video that I'm presenting. But I'm actually very quiet in real life unless I'm super nervous or something. But to be in situations like this where you have to deal with things like this, the best way I learned is to be thrust in those situations. Life isn't just gonna let you sit there and cry with your head in your hands the whole time. It's gonna keep moving, it's gonna sweep you along with it come what may. You can let the debris hit you or you can go along with the current. That's what her parents need to be teaching her. Also, the more that May shows her up is the more demotivated she gets, which is not good for her. They can be twins, but they have two different personalities, which means that you're gonna have to teach them differently. I know also because I have twin brothers and they have very different personalities. The way that we talk to one, discipline one, encourage one, is not the same for the other. He has a completely different personality and responds completely differently to different stimuli, to different things. And you would think they would notice this, but no one really cares.
Girls, to your room.
Anyway, stuff is happening, and they realize that they're not alone. At least they think they're not. Something just feels weird. Then later on in the room, the mother tries to talk to Osha.
What is troubling you, Osha?
She's nervous about tonight.
Is this true?
She's
Let
scared.
your sister answer.
I don't want to do the Ascension, but that's how we become witches. I don't know if I want to be a witch. Of course you want that. No, you want that.
Girls.
So the mother tries to tell them that they are sisters, that they should love each other, tell each other that you love each other. And she says that the thread tied them together before they were born, so they're meant to be together.
Don't be afraid, Oshi.
Ascension is about walking through fear. It is about sacrificing a part of yourself. The galaxy is not a place that welcomes women like us. witches who have the abilities we do.
Glad she expounded on that, because otherwise I would have been very confused. So they're getting ready for the ascension, and Osha is drawing something in her book, and she's telling her sister, stop looking. May is upset about this, understandably so, because she says, look, I tell you everything, and you're always hiding stuff from me and running off to be alone. I can understand from Osha's point of view, too, because she's her own person, and she'd like a little bit of privacy. But as twins, where they shared everything together, May must feel so alone.
I want to have my own things. Why? Because I want to do everything together all the time. But why? Because we're not the same. Of course we are. No, it feels that way because we're the only children here. Don't you wonder what could be out there besides Brendock?
Getting some serious Attack on Titan vibes. I like how her sister's like, why don't you go find out and see what happens?
No. Why not? Everything I need is here.
So in the crevice of the mountain, when the eclipse is about to happen, these witches are ready for the ascension. Or the two kids are ready for the ascension. They start vocalizing and doing all things that witches and cults would do that you see in media. Hurry up, bitch, I gotta take a shit. Why is she doing that? What in the world? She looks like... Never mind, I'm not even gonna say it. Like, a particular politician. She looks like she's lost up there. What is wrong with her? What did they tell you to enact that for the script? She goes up in front of the crowd. She cranes her neck, feigning elegance, as though she is portraying the xenomorph queen. Because that's what I direct her as. I'd be like, okay, pretend you're a bird, and you're walking up there, and then you're looking around at the fish in the water. I don't know, it's just a very weird, dramatized version of what I guess people think witches would be like when they're addressing the rest of the witches in the area. It just felt so put on.
Tonight we enact a ceremony we have not performed since our exile. We were hunted.
Why do they look like they're getting off on that? The hell? What is happening? What kind of threads are they pulling underneath there? She looks like she's either high as hell or she's wearing something between her legs so she can get by this lecture.
Persecuted. Forced into hiding.
What the fuck are they on? What are you doing? What in the world? Oh my god, look at them. They're all high out of their minds, bro. Oh god, the thread. I can feel it inside me. Like, what? They just look so weird. Ugh, she's just speaking. Does her voice carry some kind of weird supernatural eroticism or something? Or are they all just acting out what they think they should be doing? The director's like, all right, just pretend you're witches, and that's how they think. That's how they think witches act. It's not that serious. Unless there's something I don't know about the supposed force that they clearly are all wielding right now. I'm never gonna let that go.
Or because some would consider our power dark, unnatural. We were on the...
She's the only one that doesn't look affected by whatever is going on. It's probably because she just got some before she came here. That's why she's looking at her wife like that. She's like, yeah, you all have the thread. I have the real thing.
The brink of extinction.
That sounds like you.
Yo, I'm not even lying. She just reached her climax. And the freaking, with Samuel Jackson doing that. Oh my god, I can't. This is great. I'm having so much fun with this right now. There's so much going on. And the captions literally say, which laughs medically. Oh my god, I love this. Oh, this is great. It's her face, and then the other woman's like, the other woman's like, ow, my ear. Hold on, I need to collect myself. This is so funny.
And then we were blessed with a miracle. The gift of life.
Behind us. Oh my god, I'm so dead. I don't know if they meant for this to be funny or it's like they legitimately are taking this seriously, but it is sending me, man. Oh my god. Let me guess. Little girls were made just so, without the need of sperm, parthenogenesis, or whatever it is they call it. Yep. Look how one of them looks completely ew. The other one's like, oh my god, this is great. And this one's like, oh my god, no. Look how they're all being touched. It reminds me of the Pentecostal church. I swear to God. Like, people laying your hands on you and trying to make you fall out and pushing back your forehead so that they can make everybody else think that the Holy Spirit has taken over you and you're fighting them because you don't want to fall. And you're like, I'm not falling. I'm not falling. There's nothing wrong with me. Nothing's taking over me. I'm not falling. Get your hands off.
What the thread has tied together, no one can separate.
Getting some weird Christian vibes from this. What the Lord has put together, none can tear asunder. Isn't there a scripture like that or something? So because of this, the twins are forced to, I guess, stay together forever. What happens when they want romantic relationships? Or they're gonna have to sleep with the same person? Did the mother not think ahead that far? Or are they supposed to stay in the coven and just be with each other for all the ends of time? Like they're not actual people who will grow up and want actual relationships or families outside of this. Regardless, I understand this is their family. This is what they grew up in. The kid doesn't want this, but these are her parents. And unless she stays away from her parents or what have you, when she's old enough to make her own decisions, this is their life right now.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Okay, that kind of sounds tight. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds nice.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Okay, they ruined it with the freaking cobra hiss. So the mother says, do you vow upon my death?
My death.
To protect the secrets of our coven and continue our legacy.
I do.
I'm guessing that's May. And then they shabak. I'm sorry, I'll stop. I'll try. And Osha's like, oh hell no. I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing. I'm trying so hard to take this seriously, but this little girl's face, she's like, I don't want any of that smoke right there. Whatever is going on, shit is scaring me for a reason. I do not want to be here. What exactly happens when they're ascended? I don't know. Okay, so they now have the circle sphincter fingerprint hybrid thing on their faces when they ascend. I think they use the force to do that, or the thread, whatever they call it, it's the same thing. That they wielded to make certain things happen.
Of our coven and continue our legacy.
I do.
Come on! The Jedi! They've sliced the platform.
Of course, right in the nick of time, the Jedi appear. And the ceremony is cut short. Everybody's ready to slice the Jedi's heads wide open. The mother says, no weapons. That's not who we are. We're not like them, even though you clearly are using the force thread, panty liner, whatever you call it, to wield your surroundings. You could use those as weapons regardless. You don't actually need hardware to do it, but continue deluding yourselves. And that's when we see Trinity and her friends. Okay, wait, is that the guy that had that thing around? Okay, I don't know if that's the same person that they de-aged or they aged up the other person, or it's a different actor. He's cute. Look at him. Looking like, which one is it? Is it Anakin? I think someone wore the freaking rat tail down their head. Oh no. He's white. Something bad's gonna happen to him. We already know something bad happens to him, but I have a feeling the way that they're focusing on him that something is gonna happen.
Good evening. I am Master Indara, and these are my colleagues, Sol, Kelnaka, and my Padawan Torben.
I am Anastasia, mother of this coven.
Anastasia, that's what you said?
These women are under my protection.
You are trespassing. Forgive our intrusion. We thought this planet was uninhabited.
The all-knowing Jedi were ignorant of their surroundings.
I'm just curious why they hate Jedi so much. Because the Jedi believe that they're the only ones that are supposed to use the Force. There are other people that are not Jedi that can use the Force, clearly, right? Do the Jedi forbid other people from using it? I'm confused. I thought it was just a mastery of the Force that sets the Jedi apart from other people. But from what I've gathered, it seems now like anybody can use it and learn to use it on their own. Could be wrong, though.
I find that hard to believe.
Oh, shut up.
We mean you and your coven no harm.
And yet here you are, unannounced, armed.
Wait, look at their robes.
I feel like this is like an exchange with the police. If they really meant them harm, wouldn't they already have their lightsabers drawn? You have weapons too, but yes, this is the witch's home, so I can understand that. I'm curious though why the Jedi are here.
How they wear their sabers. Get back here. You are another quarrel.
What do you want?
We are concerned that you are training children. The Republic lost.
Randolph is not a part of the Republic.
There are no children here.
What a freaking snitch. Can't blame old Darth Milady over here. She's trying to protect her kids. But she must have known that they would have figured that there were kids there. Especially since she and her wife know that Jedi have been hanging around the forest and Osha keeps going there.
Come out. We won't hurt you.
What is your name?
Osha.
Osha. My name is Saul.
Osha.
May we meet your sister?
That's the first thing I don't understand. Why are they addressing the kids like their parents aren't right there? I mean, okay, maybe, yeah, they're supposed to be functioning as CPS or something, but the parents are still there. You should ask them their permission first. But they're talking to this girl like she's the adult. If they've already established that Brendok is not under the laws or jurisdiction of the Republic, and unless they figure that kids are in danger, I don't know, this whole thing's very, very peculiar. I mean, I understand, but I would have still tried to respect the parents first and saying, can we speak to your daughters? We already know they're there. We know there's another one there. And then I guess try to swing your dick around with the law or whatnot. Give them a chance at least of their free will to comply. Like I said, I'm new to Star Wars lore and stuff, so I still don't know what the hell's going on.
Where is their father?
They have no father.
The marking. It wasn't there this morning.
You're spying on us? They want to take our children!
The Jedi do not take children.
Hold your tongue or I cut it out for you!
My, did that escalate rather quickly. Anyway, so Syl decides to give one of the kids the lightsaber. Classical manipulative tactic of trying to win kids away from their parents. Oh my god, I'm holding his sword thing.
I think you would make a very good Jedi, Osha.
Is anybody but me concerned that this comes off as very manipulative and inappropriate? Imagine you have your child. Maybe you're doing a religion or whatnot, and you raised your child under your roof. You're the one taking care of that kid, and then these random people that don't like what your parents are doing, providing they're not doing anything that is directly endangering you. Like I said, I'm not well familiar with the lore, so I don't know if that's what's happening here. As far as I know, Osha just doesn't want to do what her parents are doing or what her family's doing. And then this person comes in and they're like, hey, you want to come with us? I got candy in the car. You like candy, right? It seems so inappropriate to me. And I feel like there's a lot of detail that is conveniently left out in this situation. But just looking at it, frontal, it seems very inappropriate and it doesn't shine the Jedi in a good way. It just doesn't. And maybe this is just the way the kids are remembering it. Maybe there was a lot more that transpired that we're not privy to, but it definitely makes these guys look like they're trying to make off with these people's children.
Yes, please. Mother?
Now you're asking her permission?
If you want your part of
What did I tell you? I knew that something was gonna happen to the white dude. I just knew it. Why was he the one she targeted? Like, she locked on to him. Forget everybody else. Forget the freaking woman here who definitely, maybe because they're more experienced or whatnot, but I would think a show of strength is to take over one of the Jedi that are very strong. But clearly this Padawan, what is that, their version of a cadet or something? He's under them because he's very strong. I mean, we see him in the future. He's able to make an impenetrable bubble around himself that nobody can penetrate. Nothing, not even gas, really? And she targets him. It's almost like he was there specifically so they could target him. I know that sounds really silly, me saying that, but that's how media is nowadays. It's just so predictable.
If you want your Padawan returned to his right mind, I suggest you all leave. Now.
Mama, I want to show them what you taught me. Please let me take the test.
Mother Anastasia, you cannot deny that Jedi have the right to test potential Padawans. With your permission, of course.
So people in this universe don't have any agency over their own children that they carried? It's just so Jedi can test if they are going to become Jedi? I'm so confused. Is this guy supposed to be like nearly as strong as them? How was it able to happen? Oh well. The mother's like, fine. The scouts will bring Osha to your camp at midday and you'll check her then. They ask if her sister can come along as well. Nobody is happy about this. So of course, Coral, the leader's wife, whatnot, is very gung-ho, highly gladiatorial, and she believes in fighting to protect her kids.
We make our move tonight, while the moons are high.
Mother Coral, I urge you to remain calm.
One drop of Jedi blood, and the Republic would destroy us.
There are only 4 Jedi. Who would miss them?
They're Jedi. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would miss them. It's like saying there are only 4 cops. Who would miss them? Everyone? I mean, who am I? I don't even know anything. But I would think that would be a bad move, especially if you're gonna slaughter all 4 of them. Not that you can't take your children and go somewhere else, right? Why is that not in the cards? Why is that not one of the many options that they brought up? And don't they have magic? Can't they cloak themselves? I don't know. What are the rules in this universe?
We must let them test the girls.
No.
We don't have a choice.
Osha wants to do it.
Osha is a child.
She is old enough to know what she wants.
So she's old enough to screw an adult. I don't know how the laws work here in the universe, but I know that consent, I would hope in this universe, consent goes a long way, and it would be along the lines of when the person is finished developing, which is like 18 to like 25. What are these kids? Aren't they like 9, 10? She is a child, but she's old enough to know what she wants. Yet when she has told you repeatedly in the previous scenes that she doesn't want to do the ascension, you did not respect that. So which is it? Why does this mother keep flippity-floppeting every time she wants something? Everything must always fall in her hand. She must always maintain control when it suits her. Nobody takes this person seriously because she says one thing and then directly contradicts herself. She wants this person who is a partner to help her in raising these children. And I'm wondering at this point when I was watching it, like, what is the point? Like, who are these people to each other? Did they use their magic to mix in with each other's magic to make these girls? Or was it they just prayed to whatever deity they believe in, or the force or not force, and then these girls popped out of this woman over here? Because if both of them, her and her wife, have a hand in creating them, then the wife gets a say too. And this is a really realistic argument. However, the dialogue is really stupid because, as I've said, this person mentioned before that, or she was trying to manipulate the child before into doing what she said. She did not respect the fact that Osha was old enough. You could say she was trying to convince her. You still weren't respecting her wishes even after you're making this argument. It seems as though she just wants to always fight Coral, which makes her very toxic. Or maybe she's just coming to this realization, but from her track record, doesn't make me trust her very much.
I did not bring the girls into this world so we could lose them to a bunch of deranged monks.
It is not your decision. It is mine.
Oh, no, you did not. Wow. And she just said, Coral just said, I did not bring these girls into the world. Now, I understand that this woman over here, Anaseo, is... Sounds funny ways. Hey, I'm sorry. Anyway, she's the leader, but this person is your partner. I don't know the tradition or culture and how partnership works or marriage, or if they even are married. She could just be her main bitch right now and she screws a whole bunch of those other witches. I don't know. But I would think, based on what we've seen, that you would want the person who you shared this with to have some say in how to raise the children, right? But it's like she's taking that all away from her. Like, why not just be a single mother at that point then, if you don't want your partner to have any hand in it? And then if her partner were to step back and not do anything, you would hear how, you're not helping me with the children. This is how it happens all the time, and that's what it's giving.
And I've made it.
I carried them.
I created them.
So by that logic, does that mean that men have more of a right to kids than women? You know what I'm saying? Like, women are like, I carried the child in my belly for 9 months. Yeah, but I gave you the sauce to make the batter to make the meal, so... I gave you the ingredients, bitch. You didn't have the ingredients, they wouldn't be made. Okay, but if you didn't have anyone to carry them, then they wouldn't be born. Fair enough. So maybe both of you need to come to a compromise then as to what to do. But this dumbass over here is making it seem like because, oh, I created them, I used my batter to rearrange your fucking womb or whatever these things have that carry babies, eggs, whatnot. So I'm the one who needs to be in charge all the time. Why would you stay with someone like this? This is why you have to be careful who you have kids with, for crying out loud. And did they do this on purpose? No, she created them on purpose. Maybe it's like, what's her name again? Not Miranda. What the hell? Wanda. Wanda from WandaVision. Kind of situation like that, right? Except that these were actually 2 real people that decided to come together and create these kids. And she is treating her like a slave. Is that what she is?
And what happens if the Jedi discover how you created them?
Ooh, bitch, you would not snitch. Bitch, if you snitch, I swear to God. Look at her when she doesn't have control. So toxic. Ugh.
This test has two outcomes.
Oh, shut the fuck up. You didn't say anything before, and all of a sudden you want to come with your old ass and give us some insight. Where were you before when all of this was happening? Anyway, old Granny here basically says that, well, if they pass, the girls leave. So she insinuates that all you gotta do is make the girls fail, right? So later on, the girls are like, well, how do we fail? And the mother says, whatever you think the answer is, just answer something else.
You can never see Mama again. They take you, I will stop them. No one's taking me. The Jedi are bad.
The Jedi are good. This isn't about good or bad. This is about power and who is allowed to use it.
But you're using it. You just used it to create these wombats. So who are you? How are you any better than the Jedi? Even if the Jedi are like, only Jedi are allowed to use it. Clearly they've seen you using it and they don't seem to have a problem with letting you exist. So what are we really talking about here?
You're a very powerful girl. Right now you want to be a Jedi. But as you grow, what you want, it changes, it shifts. Like the seasons. In winter we hunt with bunta. In summer with bows and arrows.
So her mother is telling her, you're a kid right now, and it's understandable that you don't know everything you think you know. And as you grow, your likes are going to change. Makes sense. When I was little, I wanted to be a movie director until I realized, oh shit, I'm gonna have to work with people and be surrounded by people all day long. I don't really want that. Then I wanted to be a veterinarian. Then I realized, oh shit, I can't save all the animals and I'm gonna have to lose some of them. And then people are gonna be crying and then I'm gonna be crying and that's gonna make people uncomfortable and that's gonna kill my whole evening and my whole week when animals die and I can't save them. Yeah, I don't think I could do that. So I wanted to become a wildlife filmographer until I realized half of the documentaries were fake and you actually have to set up certain controlled environments to make it look like you're shooting wildlife when you're really not. But then things happened and I started becoming an editor and then also I branched off into YouTube. So those two things kind of coincided and were so far from what I initially thought I was going to be when I was little. Hell, when I was little, I wanted to be a cat. So yes, it does change. Kids don't really know what they want. The guy that you had your first kiss with, for those of you who had consent to do that, that's great, but that doesn't mean that's the person that you're gonna end up with when you get older. And as you get older, if you don't end up with that person, you're probably like, good Lord, thank goodness I changed my mind and that didn't work out because that would have been a nightmare. So her mom is right in that regard, but then on the flip side, you're making it seem as though she needs to go through the ascension because that's what you want. And I get it, that's part of what, you know, whatever, their culture. But then why not, if she's unsure, why force her into doing the ascension? Why not wait till she's old enough to make a decision as to whether she wants to do the ascension or become a Jedi? Why force either of those things on her? It's not like she's living in the real world and she needs a job and she needs to function outside. You're in a freaking coven in a goddamn mountain. It really doesn't matter. What's the rush?
We hunt with bunta. In summer with bows and arrows.
But we still hunt. That doesn't change.
And this is exactly the reason why kids can't make permanent decisions like this, because regardless of whether you still hunt, that's not the point. There are different things that you hunt and there's a time and place for everything. Duh, you still hunt. What was the point of answering that? The kid doesn't even know how to give a proper response because that's just redundant. It shows that she has no higher thinking outside of her limited experience. And I'm not trying to say that kids are completely stupid, but we have to admit that there are experiences that kids have, especially if they're sheltered by their coven or their parents, that doesn't equip them for life outside. Then again, there are situations that kids who have a lot of street experience have more experience than me. They may know how to run a business on the road and I don't. So when they're talking about something, I feel stupid because I don't have that experience. They have way more experience than the normal person. The mother's point is, which just completely flew over this idiot's head, is the way we hunt and what we hunt changes with the seasons because the environment and our needs change. So similarly, as you grow and get more experience, your perspectives and desires naturally also evolve. Just as we wouldn't hunt bison in the summer or something, because it's not the right time, it's important to wait until you're older to have more experience before making a permanent decision. This way, you'll be sure that it's what you truly want, and you'll be better prepared to handle the consequences of the decision. It's not because the Jedi said that this would be wonderful, or me said that this would be wonderful. I can urge you in the right direction, but same thing with the Ascension or being a Jedi, you should wait till you're old enough to make the decision because you might change your mind. It just feels like the adults in each situation are trying to manipulate the kids. And the mother is just as dumb because for some reason she has no idea how to answer that question. My thing would have been like, yes, I know we still hunt. That's the point. Were you not listening? Clearly, Osha over here has a problem with comprehension skills, which is the mother's fault because you let her get away with everything that she wants to do and not listening and not having any discipline that she doesn't even know how to do critical thinking.
It's time. Come, my loves.
So they take the test. May tells Osha to promise her that she'll fail on purpose, and Osha promises. Meanwhile, Osha's like, I like your drip.
Do all Jedis get one of those?
After much training, yes.
Ow. What are you doing?
I was just taking a blood sample.
Call me crazy, but wouldn't it be nice to tell a kid that you're gonna do that before you do that? Like, I don't know. It's like going to the doctor and you're like, okay, we're gonna run some tests, jab. I'm like, bro, you could have warned me a little bit. Tell me what the frick is going on. They're treating the kids like they're not real people.
In this test, you must divine what images appear on the testing screen. Tell us what you see.
A spaceship.
Correct. How about this next one?
A mountain.
Correct.
That wasn't a
Did someone tell you to fail this test?
And what if she had not given that up? Would you have manipulated her and used deceitful tactics to try and take this kid away from her family? Why are they making the Jedi look so awful in this? Are we supposed to believe that whatever, dude over there and Trinity are the good guys? Because they're really trying to make them look like the villains. Like, they're making them seem so untrustworthy.
Your family doesn't want to be separated from you.
What do you want, Osha?
It doesn't matter what she wants. Is her family abusing her? Is there some kind of danger that the kids are directly being put in? Why are you trying to take this child from her family? I don't understand. Like, I legitimately don't understand. This shit is so annoying. Wow, it's making them look so freaking creepy, to be honest. Maybe... I hate always bringing this up, but as someone who was groomed as a kid and was prey to those situations, that is the same way that the pedos would speak. They would say that same thing, oh, your mom, she's just overprotective. And same way my uncle used to speak also. Whenever my mom was like, oh, don't do something and blah, 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 don't worry, it'll be our secret. You know, it's all about what you want. It's okay. And in the moment, you feel like, wow, he's treating me like an adult. He actually cares about me. He sees me. He cares about what I want. Even though my mom was a little bit overbearing, I will give him that. But that's the same kind of tactic that people who are predators use to prey on kids, because they know that kids are impressionable and they already can win them over when they're like, oh, it's just what you feel. It's not about what your mom says. It's not about the danger that you could possibly be put in and this whole other world that you know nothing about that we're trying to shove you in. Just say what you feel, honey, because they already know she wants to be a Jedi. So it's easy to turn her against her family. That shit is so disgusting.
I was younger than you are. When the Jedi tested me, I was only 4.
I was young as you when I had my first kiss. That's what it's giving, bro. That's what it's giving. I understand if nobody else feels that way. Maybe it's because of my experiences, why I see it through that lens. But I just feel this weird sensation crawling up my spine because that is the same behavior, the same verbiage, the same everything that predators would use on me to get what they wanted. And I'm not saying that only predators do this. People who are like, oh, the way you're talking to your child, you scolded her? Oh, that's abuse. They try to do that to me with CPS too, to take me away from my family when some personal shit happened that really wasn't that. And the teachers and the guidance counselors spun it way out of control and made it seem as though my parents wanted to kill me. Like, that whole shit that triggers me so much. And then the thing is, when they take you from their families, they don't give a shit about you afterwards. Now, I'm not saying this is the case here with the Jedi, but that's kind of what it's giving. It's really, really a disgusting tactic, and it shows that they have no respect for the parents or for the family. Like I said, I could be wrong, but please tell me what these witches are doing. Aside from them forcing their kids to take the ascension thing, are the kids in any actual real danger here? Because I feel like that's important information that we should be privy to.
Really?
Yes. But I knew I was different from my family. The Jedi saw how special I was.
Oh my god, that's so creepy. It's the same language. Oh my god. Damn, that's creepy. Holy shit. What in the world? Did this person who wrote this had an experience or something? Because, dude, it feels like they wrote this because they hate Jedi. Like, why would you put the Jedi in a position where they come off like child predators?
And I can see that in you, Osha. I was very scared to leave my family. But when I joined the Jedi, I found out there were many other children like me.
There are other children there?
Oh my god. Why are we rushing this? Like, I get the Mandalorian with Baby Grogu, because he had no one, and he was probably like way older, he's a different species, so things probably work differently, I get it. Then how does consent work in this universe? I'm confused. How does consent work in this universe? Because on one end, it's like kids make their own decisions with life-altering situations where they're taken away from their family. This isn't freaking Pokemon. We're supposed to be based in reality somewhat, right? So in this future or these other galaxy, do these kids, can they make this decision at ages 8 to 10, which is what looks to be her age group? And if that's the case, then their parents can't say jack to them then. If they can make their own decisions, why were their mothers even disciplining them at that point? At that moment, they could have been like, fuck off, moms. You can't tell us what to do. I'm old enough. But then you have others saying they're children and it's so confusing. It's either children are allowed to do X, Y, and Z and just blanket statement that these are things that kids are not allowed to do until they're old enough to make their own decisions, or this is everything that falls under that umbrella kids are allowed to do. You can't have, well, you can't get tattoos or drink beer or do any of that stuff. Oh, but you can run off with these adults and with these random adults somewhere else where you'll never see your family again. What the fuck, bro?
Thousands like us. But you must have the courage to say what you want.
Lord have mercy. Is this how they roll in Star Wars? Is it just me? Like, it was different when I watched the first Star Wars movie because, you know, Luke, the protagonist, from what I gathered, he was alone. So he could make his own decisions because he was alone, but he was also older. So look at this. She's still a thing. That makes no sense. She's still a child. She's still a very little child. And she's clearly confused.
I want to be a Jedi.
You don't even know what the fuck a Jedi is. You just literally asked that person in the hallway if all Jedi get that. So you don't even know what that fully entails. And the Jedi are just preying off of that. What in the world?
Then you must have the courage to tell the truth.
That means you must betray your parents and say you want to be with me. I mean, with us. Just say you want to live with us. Go tell her.
We should continue the test.
So the kids clearly are not in danger because they would have taken the other kid as well, correct? The other kid lied. And by this logic, since they know that through Osha's response that she's lying on purpose, this means that the other kid's lying on purpose too. So do they just take that kid by force? If the Jedi also think that they're old enough to make their own decisions and they're bypassing their parents' decision, bypassing their parents' authority, then that means that May failing the test on purpose should mean jack shit, and these Jedi are allowed to take them on purpose. But they did say in the earlier scenes that they don't take children. No, you just manipulate them to come with you, like fucking Peter Pan. How much more creepy can this get? Like I said, this is like, aside from The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, the first Star Wars movie, that is the extent of my Star Wars knowledge. I know about Darth Vader being Anakin and Luke being his son, because that whole thing that my dad made me watch for the Austin Powers kind of spoiled that. And then someone's hand gets chopped off and whatever. And I get that whole thing. Wait a minute. Whose hand got cut off? I think it was Darth Vader or Anakin who cut off Luke's hand. Okay, I'll have to look this up later, but I vaguely remember watching some Star Wars movie with my cousin. I fell asleep during it. I was very tired. And when I woke up at weird parts during the movie. And one of the parts I remember is Darth Vader fighting Luke. and Luke's hand going flying, or someone's hand got cut off. I assume Darth Vader cut off Luke's hand. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't even remember. But that's like that little clip, that whole thing, and Anakin, I believe, not liking sand for some reason. That's it. Through the memes, that's all I know. That is all I know. And, oh yeah, of course, Yoda. Wait, is that his name? Whatever. Look, I don't know much. That's just to let you know. Without me going and taking a pause and going and looking the stuff up, I don't know. So forgive me if there are things that should be common knowledge in this that I'm just not privy to. However, just from this experience with the Acolyte, it's making me not like Jedi very much. I don't know if that's what they set out to do, but it makes them seem like a creepy group of people. And I know that they're individuals and whatnot, but I don't think they deserve death, but this is definitely not a good look for them. So of course, back to her family, Osha's like, I told the truth, I didn't want to lie. And May's upset because she's like, you lied to me, you promised me, and you broke your promise, you asshole.
Don't want to be a witch.
What's wrong with you?
Go and take a walk, May. Take a walk with Mother Coral. Now!
Mama! What's wrong with you? Mama! Mama!
I kind of feel bad for May here because she knows she's gonna lose her sister. And May honestly feels like she has more sense than Osha does because she's like, okay, she's trying to force her into walking her path, but at the same time, Osha doesn't really know Jack.
Mama, I'm sorry.
Stop. Listen to me. Destiny is not decided for you by an anonymous force. You get to make a choice, Osha. If you want to pull the thread, then pull it.
I'll never see you again.
You won't. Fear should not make this decision, Osha.
Why can't she ever see them again? Or that she can't visit? And is this her way of disowning her or something? Like, oh, well, if you make this choice, you ain't gonna be part of us because we're gonna lock you out of the coven. Isn't that manipulation as well?
You should.
I want to be a Jedi, Mama. I do.
Well, good job. Tell a kid what they cannot be, and then they'll want to be that thing more than anything. The kid doesn't even know exactly what a Jedi is, and all she's learned from her mother is that they're horrible people, and nothing more than that. I would have been like, bro, you can be a Jedi if you want, but, like, you can wait till you're older. Or then, you know what? Make her choice. And be like, okay, whatever happens, that you have to bear the consequences of that.
I must discuss the situation with everyone here. But we will consider your wish when we do so.
I love you, Mama.
I love you.
So then Osha is getting ready to pack her stuff, and she has her little Pokemon avatar figurines. She takes up her book thing, and she's like, I'm so ready to be out of here. But May's like, I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you from leaving. And when she's like, how are you gonna stop me? And May's like, I'm gonna kill you. I don't know if this is all actually something that happened, because it doesn't make any sense. So May locks her in, and then she sets fire to her little book. May doesn't listen, and Osha's like, oh shit. May is taken over by complete anger, and then she burns the book, and I'm confused in this moment because I'm thinking to myself, they're surrounded by a whole bunch of rock, you know? I mean, just from the experience that I have, when you drop fire on rock, you may leave a scorch burn there, but it doesn't really burn anything. Unless you have some kind of accelerant poured everywhere you want the fire to burn, but even still, the rock will still be there. The most that would happen is that rocks would melt, but not burn. So Osha's crying for help. And then what in the world? Okay, I am so confused here. What is catching fire exactly? Is there an accelerant? Because the fire is just burning up the rock. And unless there is a surface combustible element on the rock, which I don't think to be the case, it doesn't make sense for fire to spread like this. Okay, it's spreading and then catching. What is it burning? What is the fire burning? Okay, it had to burn for a while to come in and catch fire to the curtains. And then what? What is it with these people and these unrealistic portrayals of fire in this freaking show? It's so dumb. Like, I'm not gonna ask y'all to set your houses on fire, but if you have concrete or rock or stone floors or what have you, even that, or you have stone sinks, you know, those wash sinks in your garage or your laundry room. If you've ever caught something on fire and then you put it in there, tell me what happens, because I can tell you what happens from experience. The fire burns up the paper and then goes out. And all that's left is ash. Because there's nothing to fucking burn. Dear God. So Osha opens up the secret tunnel thing. And then, what in the hell? She's calling for her sister, and May's like, oh my God, you got out. What in the world? And then the fire... What? I just, what is happening right now? Someone's memory is shoddy. I don't think that, I think, no, this can't be it. They're gonna reveal later that somebody's memory is a little rusty, because this can't be happening. So May is telling Osha to jump over to her after she just tried to kill her.
Where's Mama? Where's Mama? Mama's dead. What have you done? What have you done? What have you done?
And that's how they saw May die. And why did May care? What in the world? I feel like someone's misremembering what happened after this whole Rockfire incident. Clearly, people weren't thinking on all full cylinders. Mama! That's what Mama gets. Sorry. It's hard to feel sorry for these people. Everyone's so perpetually stupid in this show. You mean to tell me in this big ass rock mountain? Never mind, my brain hurts. So Osha's on this ventilator, and for one quick moment, I actually thought that they were gonna be like, surprise, you thought this was Osha all along. It's actually been May all along. But they've also shown that since Osha didn't take the ascension, she doesn't have the mark on her forehead, and May does. So unless they're gonna find some other ridiculous way to subvert our expectations, that is what it is. Of course, her child predator, sorry, her friends, Jedi people, are there to be all like, are you okay? Oh, it's a shame your family's gone. And the girl does acting very well when it comes to emotional turmoil. It's the same thing as Shurigatwa from Doctor Who. Their only one-track mind way of acting is to cry and show sad emotion. They're very good at that, and that's like the only thing they do. That was her face 99% of the show.
We are on our way to Coruscant.
What happened?
They started a fire. It destroyed everything. It killed.
Mama? May? No. No. You have to go back. We have to go back.
We can't.
We must.
There is nothing back there. You'll be safe on Coruscant. And if you wish, you retrain as my pal.
Does she have a choice? You made it seem like she had a choice, but you were nudging her pretty strongly in that direction. So it's like she doesn't, right? You really want her so badly to be a Padawan that screw what her parents thought. Now she has no one else, which is very convenient.
You're going to be okay, Osha. You will never feel like this again. I promise.
What is it with these grown-ups making these very weird-ass promises? How can you possibly know that? Death is a part of life. At some point, you're gonna have people that are gonna die, especially if you're training her to be a Jedi. How do you know she won't feel like this again? What if she has a boyfriend? And you're now her new father figure. When you die, which you inevitably will since you're much older, she is going to feel like that. So what exactly are you talking about? That heartbreak of losing people, she's still going to have to experience. How can you promise her something like that? So irresponsible. And then the episode ends there with May clearly still alive, going back to where she thinks she'll find her sister, and she's nowhere to be found, so she thinks that Osha is dead, even though she didn't necessarily see her die either. Lord have mercy, what a weird-ass episode. You know the episode is bad when even the freaking critics are dogging on it. Freaking Polygon is dogging on it. So is Bleeding Fool. But since I said I don't know the lore of Star Wars, I was very interested by Screen Rant's article, because this is why I didn't want to get into the whole Star Wars thing, because people are like, watch the rest of the movies! Yes! They're amazing! Why? Why would I? Why would I watch the rest of the movies when all I have to look forward to is death and destruction and constant breaking of the lore? But Screen Rant claims that Episode 3 has not broken Star Wars canon and says that it surprisingly fits very well. I don't know much about the lore, but what they did say here was interesting. It said that the Acolyte Episode 3 is certainly controversial. It's a lore-heavy episode, one focused on a new Force cult who live on the planet Brent Dock, and it strongly implies a shockingly negative view of the Jedi. although to be fair, George Lucas himself wanted viewers to be disillusioned with the Jedi, so that's not a problem. The core issue lies with the origin of Osha and May, which some argue has a surprising effect of making Anakin Skywalker less special as a character. So when they go into whole Osha and May's controversial origin of being conceived by using the Force, it causes me to believe that Anakin might have had a similar origin story, but like I said, I'm stupid, I don't know that much. It goes on to say in this section of the article, during one conversation with Mother Coral, Mother Anastasia discusses their unusual conception, although she doesn't explicitly state she created them. But she did though. She literally says that she created, anyway. One comment in particular stands out: there is no father. A word-for-word quote from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, where it applied to Anakin Skywalker as the Chosen One. It says, does this mean Star Wars has introduced 2 new Chosen Ones a century before the events of The Phantom Menace? That's the claim some are making, but it's exaggerated based on a misunderstanding of what is happening in The Acolyte. Assuming Mother Anastasia's comments are accurate, the clear implication is that she is responsible for creating the twins through the use of the Force. In contrast, Anakin Skywalker, the true Chosen One, was conceived by the will of the Force itself. Meanwhile, there's one obvious difference between Anakin and the twins, the fact that he's male while they're female. They're female because everything is female now, just saying. Osha and May were presumably conceived by Mother Anastasia using the Force to manipulate the midi-chlorians in Mother Coral's womb, and there would only be X chromosomes present, explaining why both twins are female. Anakin is still miraculous in that he was a male child with the Y chromosome somehow created by the will of the Force. The words "there is no father" may imply a correlation, but it's much less exact than it seems at first glance. Yeah, if that's the case with Anakin, it almost seems as though they are trying to take away that specialty for Anakin. It doesn't matter that he was a boy and they were girls. It's kind of what they did with the Matrix, where they're like, oh no, anyone can be the chosen one now, like Trinity. It's basically a case of the original person who was the special key to everything was a boy, so now that we're going to like force gender swap changes on everything, now they have to be a girl. Doctor Who did this, where apparently the first Time Lord, or the first iteration of him, was the black female doctor, right? That was the first one. Then we have Trinity, where she takes over from Neo, and now because she's female, now she's more powerful, and Neo doesn't have all his powers, and Trinity's the chosen one now. Same thing they did with the Terminator, same thing they're doing with this, and so it does come off as a very cheesy attempt to kind of rewrite the lore, no matter how you say that's not what they're doing. It's like, well, the original franchise had a boy, so we gotta make females fit and shoehorn their way in, which doesn't really make sense. I would have expected, if I were a fan of Star Wars, seeing this, that they would have come up with an additional part of the lore, not backtracking to try and retcon to force in some kind of narrative so that females can just fit in there. It just feels really weird, and it's giving, we're girls, men, give us everything. I've seen enough franchises do this, so I can understand it will come off why it comes off as very annoying and cheesy. But the episode itself was just so strange and just left me feeling weird. I don't know how to properly describe exactly what these feelings are, and maybe that was their intent, but the whole show just feels sloppy. The characters are uninteresting. I don't like anybody in this. The only person I remotely was okay with was Coral, and she was treated like shit the entire episode. It's always the best characters that are treated the worst in these types of shows. Anyway, that's my take on episode 3. If you liked it, what did you love about it? I'd like to see a different perspective. I was just like, whatever. The show is still ass.